Thanks for joining me as we continue to travel through this treatise on the theological virtues in the Secunda Secundae portion of the Summa Theologia. And question 9 has 4 articles. It's kind of short. It is on the gift of knowledge. And again, we are on the treatise really on the theological virtue of faith, but we're covering all the things that are related to this theological virtue of faith. We already went through the gift of understanding, and now it's the gift of knowledge. And so how are the two of those related to each other? And also, of course, St. Thomas Aquinas is going to connect these gifts to also a beatitude. And so we're going to see that as well as we discover the gift of knowledge and how it relates to the virtue of faith. So in Article 1, he asks the basic question whether knowledge is a gift. And again, like I said in the previous video, you should commit these to memory. You should know wisdom, understanding, counsel, knowledge, fortitude, fear of the Lord, piety, certain things. I just think as Catholics we should memorize. A lot of them happen to be in groups of 7, like the sacraments and the capital sins and the gifts of the Holy Spirit and things like that. So it's not too difficult. And also in one of my videos I talked about the 7 attributes of God, which I think are good to know as well. So the more you read and study the Summa, the easier it's going to be to commit some of these things to memory. So in this article, whether knowledge is a gift, St. Thomas says, grace is more perfect than nature and therefore does not fall in those things wherein a man can be perfected by nature. All right. And so there is that distinction. We have a nature, but then when God helps us to get to our final end through a participation in the life of God, which is really the definition of grace, that's when he perfects our nature to help us rise above our natural nature to something supernatural, which is our final end. So that's a really important sentence right there. Now, when a man by his natural reason assents by his intellect to some truth, he is perfected in 2 ways in respect to that truth. First, because he grasps it. Secondly, because he forms a sure judgment on it. So we have a natural ability to understand things and also to judge, to make a judgment on it. But then when there's supernatural assistance that God gives us, now we're talking about what the gifts of the Holy Spirit of understanding and knowledge help us to do to rise above what we can do by nature. Accordingly, 2 things are requisite in order that the human intellect may perfectly assent to the truth of the faith. And one of these is that he should have a sound grasp of the things that are proposed to be believed, and this pertains to the gift of understanding. As we learned in the previous video, is that understanding has to do with penetration, of really, digging deep and understanding things. And this is what that gift of understanding helps us do, even with supernatural help from God. All right, while the other is that he should have a sure and right judgment on them, so that as to be able to discern what is to be believed from what is not to be believed. And for this we have the gift of knowledge. So understanding, that gift helps us to penetrate more deeply, and the gift of knowledge allows us to look at what we're understanding and make a good judgment on it. And we can do that naturally, but then when God helps us supernaturally with this gift, that's called the gift of knowledge. All right, whether the gift of knowledge is about divine things. And he says a sure judgment about a thing is formed chiefly from its cause, and so the order of judgments should be according to the order of causes. And so Thomas is very big on hierarchies, okay? Like in the hierarchy of beings, you have God, and then all the way down to like inanimate things like rocks, right? And then you have all these creatures that fill up in between. And so when it comes to the order of causes, with God being the first cause, and then he allows for secondary causes and tertiary causes, and all the lower causes are dependent upon the higher cause. So that's what he's saying here, is that there's this order of causes from the highest down to the lowest. And then he says, accordingly, since the word knowledge implies certitude of judgment, if this certitude of judgment is derived from the highest cause, which is God, the knowledge has a special name, which is wisdom. Okay, that's another one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. For a wise man in any branch of knowledge is one who knows the highest cause of that kind of knowledge and is able to judge all the matters of that cause. And a wise man absolutely is one who knows the cause which is absolutely highest, namely God. Okay, so that's why, like with intellectual virtues, which is different from a gift, a little confusing because they're both called wisdom, but it's the highest of the intellectual virtues. And so wisdom means that you really are able to see things through God's perspective and understand the highest cause and have knowledge of that highest cause. And when you have that and you receive supernatural help to that end, that's called the gift of wisdom. But of course, we're not talking about wisdom here. We're talking about knowledge. So he says, hence the knowledge of divine things is called wisdom, while the knowledge of human things is called knowledge. All right, this being the, turn the page, the common name denoting certitude of judgment and appropriated to the judgment which is formed through second causes. Okay, so it's not the highest cause, it's the secondary causes. Accordingly, if we take knowledge in this way, it is a distinct gift from the gift of wisdom, so that the gift of knowledge is only about human or created things. Okay, very interesting. So now you know the difference between the gift of wisdom and the gift of knowledge. First, highest cause and secondary cause, the God as cause, or the secondary cause having to do with human things. Article 3, whether the gift of knowledge is practical knowledge. Now again, he keeps coming back to this speculative versus practical. Speculative has to do with the contemplation of truth, and practical has to do with actions or operations. And he says, the gift of knowledge, like the gift of understanding, is ordained to the certitude of faith. Now, faith consists primarily and principally in speculation. Okay, this would be about, the contemplation of truth, inasmuch as it is founded on the first truth, which is God. But since the first truth is also the last end for the sake of which our works are done, hence it is that faith extends to works. According to Galatians 5:6, faith worketh by charity. So he's saying, yes, it does extend to practical knowledge, the gift of knowledge. Finally, in Article 4, he's going to connect the gift of knowledge to one of the Beatitudes. Okay, he does this with every single one of the gifts. Whether the third Beatitude, blessed are they that mourn, corresponds to the gift of knowledge. And he says, right judgment about creatures belongs properly to knowledge. Now it is through creatures that man's aversion from God is occasioned. According to Wisdom 14:11, creatures are turned to an abomination and a snare to the feet of the unwise, of those, namely, who do not judge aright about creatures, since they deem the perfect good to consist in them. Hence they sin by placing their last end in them and lose their true good. It is by forming a right judgment of creatures that man becomes aware of the loss of which they may be the occasion, which judgment is he exercises through the gift of knowledge. Now this is really interesting because if you remember back in the early questions of the Summa, St. Thomas Aquinas declares unequivocally that everything in the world that God creates is good. It's very good, okay? God doesn't create anything bad. Mosquitoes, scorpions, snakes, they're all good because God wouldn't have created it if they weren't good. But at the same time, they're not the highest good. So if we put our end in these goods like money or, friends or what have you, possessions, then we're missing the mark because they're not intended to be our final end. So there's a certain mourning when we realize that if we put our stock in the things of this world, we're missing the mark on the higher thing. And so it's a cause of mourning if that happens, but then of course if you order your things rightly, then it's a cause of joy and celebration. And that's why this beatitude is connected with the gift of knowledge. All right, so that's the 4 articles of question 9 in Secunda Secundae. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me as we continue to journey through the Summa Theologia, one question at a time. God bless you.